Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Hope you're well. Now, we're going to go and make some clouds. Now, normally I would probably make clouds using a selection tool on here and then going and using that select in freehand and drawing in there and then painting in that layer. The only problem is that because we are new to this, quite possibly, it could be easier for you um, at your age and your experience to use a new layer that's above the base layer, and we're going to go and paint these in. So I'm going to go and make a new layer. I'm going to go paint some clouds. Okay, so I'll go into my pen. I'm going to go to monoline. We're going to use both the monoline and the flicks at the same time, using different shades of the blue and the grey, the white and the grey, and then also some blue shading using the spray paint. We're going to build that colour up. So using techniques that we've done before, we are going to also alpha lock this this layer as well in a second. We're going to do this in a second. So make sure we've got a clipping mask on that's going down into this layer here. We're going to go and get monoline. So I'm going to go make sure I've got monoline. I want it 100% and I want it about 10% as I did before. So make sure I'm in this layer, in my clouds layer. What I want to do is I want to go and build my cloud, and you have a sort of small then big, small then big, then maybe small, small then big parts of your cloud. So I'm going to bring my cloud in. Small, big, small, small, big, small, big. I'm going to bring that round and go and join it up. Go and draw those in like that. Now I've got my cloud there. Now what I want to do in here is, now I've drawn it, to go and alpha lock it. So you can see this shape is underneath here. So I'm going to alpha lock it. So I'm going to go and paint in it. I'm going to go and get, this time, light grey bluish, get my spray paint, and then what I'm going to do is spray paint into here and try and keep the tops as white as I can. I'm going to paint on top of the tops of the clouds anyway, and then I'm going to get the corners in there, and now this time I'm going to get a cyan blue, a light one, and then I'm going to go and do the same, but I don't want it to be so, I want it to be about half and then build up the opacity on this. So I want it to sort of build into the corner, lightly on the glass, onto the surface. And what I might do is just bring that down a touch. I might go and raise this up the size slightly, and then this time I'm going to go and get a darker blue, and then very gently, that's too big, that's way too big, that, and then very gently, that's even too up, that's turn the opacity down on this. I can see it. Maybe you can't see it on my on your screen, but it's definitely going to build that into there like that, so the clouds get dark as they get to the bottom of the screen. So what I'm going to do now, like I said, I was going to go and get the light grey. Now I'm going to get the light grey and then paint on top of this, so that there is a whiteness at the top, just so there's that fluffiness of the cloud. So I'm going to do the same again. This time I'm going to go and this time make a new layer. I'm going to go to my one layer. I'm going to go, because what I want to do is put the layer, well, I want to put the cloud behind that big cloud now. I want it to sort of peek over the top. So this way I'm going to go to my layer here, add a new layer and have another cloud layer in here. So I'm going to go and have another cloud layer in here. Go to my monoline. I'm going to go to light grey bluish. And this time I'm just going to go and peak, and big one at the top, peak, big one in between, and big, like that. So small, small, big, small, small, big. In fact, I've done that wrong. Let's go and join over here so we can see where we're joining it. Like that. That's probably not too clever to that one. Let's just go over this side. And bring that to the side. Paint that in. And you can probably just see, if I zoom in slightly, you can probably just see and make out that there is that light grey bluish. I'm going to go and do the same again with my paintbrush, my spray paint, and I'm going to go and paint into this with light grey right across the top, making sure that my layer is alpha locked so that I don't go into my backdrop. And then what I'm going to do is just paint across the top now. And I'm going to go and bring the opacity up on this to bring the whiteness out of the tops of the clouds. And then I can just see here, because the light is so bright on this, so I can just make the outline of the clouds. And what I want to do is just pop that out a little bit. So I'm going to use a blue. I'm going to use some opacity, and then I'm going to bring that up very slightly so I can see the cloud underneath like that. And you can see that the cloud is starting to come through. You can see the cloud now starting to sort of just come through that as you paint the blue and the speckle on that cloud that's behind everything else that's there. So you can see that going on. Right, so there's the simple clouds. Next, we're going to go and start to create some fauna and some trees in the hills, so that we've got the way we look at this goes through the page, so it makes it look like we got a focal point going all the way through the page. Right, as always, good luck.